Good morning, everyone. I'm Mr. Zondi, Andile Zondi, and I'll be teaching you guys mathematics grade 8. Today's lesson is a continuation of what we did last week, Friday. At the end of today's lesson, I want you guys to be able to do the following: to multiply integers and monomials by monomials, binomials, and trinomials, right? And we'll obviously be using these properties that you guys learned last week, right? Mainly, we'll be using the distributive law. Now, distributive law, basically, short revision, it works like this. If you are multiplying a variable or an integer into your bracket, you'll multiply into each variable or each term inside the bracket. So your answer will be A times B. A times B will be AB plus A times C, that will be AC, right? Okay, so revision from last time. And then when you look at monomials, this is basically one term, for example, 1 or A or AB. These are all monomials. Binomials, we're looking at basically two terms, like 1 plus A, okay, or A plus AB. So those are two terms. Bi, the word bi means two. And tri is 3, right? So 3 terms. You could have 1 plus A minus AB. So what is very important to remember is that when we look at binomials and trinomials, and the separators are addition or subtraction, right? Terms are subtracted by addition sign or subtraction sign, right? If you're multiplying two variables that constitute one term, right? Okay, so that is basically revision. That's what we'll be looking at in today's lesson. Should you have any questions, feel free to write on the chat. But unfortunately, I'll only be able to look at your questions at the end of this lesson, right? So I'll give you guys about 10 minutes to answer your questions. Hopefully that will be okay for you. And let's move on. Okay, we need to revise the laws of exponents. You should have done this in term 1, the laws of exponents. Since we're multiplying, we'll be looking mainly at the first law, right? The first law goes as follows: A to the power m multiply by A to the power n is equal to A to the power m plus n, right? So revision, this is the A in this case is called the base. Right? Should remember this from term 1. And the m in this case, right? So those are powers or exponents, right? So power and exponent is actually the same thing. So power and exponent is the same thing, right? Okay, so how do we apply this law? Basically, we apply it as follows. Let me give you an example. Let's say my base, notice my bases are all the same. These laws can only apply if your bases are the same, right? You can't have an A and a B here. For example, you can't have a 5 and a 4 here. Let me give you an example. Let's say I have, let's say my A is equal to 2, right? Let's just say A is equal to 2. Okay. Let's just say M, and there's your M. This is an example. let's say m is equal to 3, and n, let's say n is equal to 4. So obviously I made it up. That's why I'm saying let's say let a be equal to 2, m let it be equal to 3, and n let it be equal to 4. Okay. So in this case, 2 to the power m will be 2 to the power 3, right? Multiply by 2 to the power n. Obviously, a is 2, so it will be 2 to the power 4 because n is equal to 4. So this will be 2, right? N is 4 to the power 4, right? Using this rule, this is the same as saying base, which is 2. Notice the base must be the same, right? If they're not the same, these laws cannot apply. So now notice if you are multiplying, right, exponent with the same bases, the exponent must be added. So this will be equal to 3 plus 4, right? Simple. Okay. Let us use a simple example to look at this. Obviously, let's say you have 2. Okay, let me use the same one. Just use the same one because these numbers will be very big. But let's just do the same. Use the same. So this will be equal to, okay, 2 to the power 3. It is 2 times 2 times 2. So it's 2 times 2 times 2. Okay. Let me just remove. Let me remove this. Okay, I think you are okay now. Now 2 times 2 times 2, because it's here. It's not 2 times 3. It's 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. So this is equal to 8. Okay, multiplied by, okay, there the big multiply sign. 2 to the power 4. This will be 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8 times 2, 16. So it will be 8 times 16, right? Okay, now use your calculator to check your answer. Okay, obviously, these are huge numbers, so you need to use a calculator. So if I'm using my calculator, I'll get the following: 8 times 16, this is 128, right? Now let's prove that this is equal to that. So it is equal to, okay. Now obviously 2 to the power 3 plus 4 will be 2 to the power 7. 2 to the power 7, right? 3 plus 4 is 7. 2 to the power 7, this is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 up to 7 times, right? So it's 2. By the way, you don't need to do the step. So this is 2, 1 times 2 times 2, that is 3, times 2, that is 4, times 2, that is 5, times 2, that is 6, times 2, that is 7, right? So 2 to the power 7 is actually equal to 128. Obviously, you can use your calculator, and you see that your answer will be the same. So this is correct. So a to the power m times a to the power n is equal to a to the power m plus n, right? You can also have a to the power m divided by a to the power n, but we'll look at this. We'll look at this tomorrow in the next lesson. Tomorrow's lesson. This is well. Okay, this we are raising a to the power m all to the power n, right? So this is equal to a to the power m times n. Let's do another example here. Okay, let's say your a is 2. Right? A is 2. Okay, this is going to be a very huge number. Okay, let's say a is 2. A is equal to 2. A is equal to 2. Let's say m. Okay, I want to look at small numbers. Let's say m is equal to 2, right? And n is equal to 3. Okay. Okay. So what is a to the power n? M all to the power n. So it will be a is 2, so it's 2 to the power m. What is our m, learners? Our m is 2 in this case, right? Our m is 2, so it's 2 to the power 2. Everything raised to the power n. What is our n? Our n is 3, right? So our n is 3. Okay, what is that equal to? 2 to the power 2, the same as saying 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. Right? So 4 to the power 3. So 4 to the power 3 is 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. You can just verify that using calculator. Obviously, this is 4 times 4, right, times 4, right? And your answer is 64. Just verify that using calculator. Now, according to this law, it says this is the same as saying 2. Remember, our a is 2. Our a is 2, right? So it's 2 to the power m. M is 2, right? We said m, let m be 2. So to the power 2 times, what is our n? Our n is 3. So times 3. Okay. Now, learners, what is 2 times 3? 2 times 3. Obviously, 2 times 3 is 6. 2, 4, 6. So this is 2 to the power 6, right? Okay. Obviously, 2 to the power 6 is 2. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 up until you reach 6 2's, right? Remember, it's not 2 times 6. It's not 2 plus 6. It's 2 times 2, 6 times, right? If you're using a calculator, 2 to the power 6 will be 64. Okay, so I think you now understand how this works. Right. Now let's move on to this one. Remember, today we want to look at multiplication. A to the power a multiplied by b all to the power m is equal to a to the power m times b to the power m, right? Why everything within the bracket is raised to the power m, right? Okay, let's look at an example, right? Q2 space, let me write it here. Okay, let a be equal to 2. I could use any number. Let b, okay, this is b, this is a. Let b be equal to 3, and let m be equal to 4. Okay, now if A is 2 and B is 3, so this will be 2 times 3, all raised to the power m is 4, all raised to the power 4, right? Okay, right out of space, okay, but let me continue here. What is 2 times 3? 2 times 3 is 2, 4, 6. So it is 6 to the power 4, right? Okay, 6 to the power 4 is 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. 6 multiplied by itself 4 times, right? 6 times 6 is 36. Okay, obviously, for this one, we'll need a calculator. Okay, it's going to be a huge number. 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. It is, answer will be equal to 1,296. Okay. Okay, we're learning that according to this rule, it's the same as saying a to the power m times b to the power m, right? Okay, let me just erase this because it's getting a bit too much, right? Let's erase this so I can write it here on the next one. The answer for left hand side. Okay, now let's look at the right hand side. Okay, for the right hand side, remember my a is 2, so this will be 2 to the power m. M is 4. M is 4. Okay, multiplied by, okay, b, right? What's b? B, I said let us make b 3. So this is 3 to the power, what is our m? The power 4. Now, learners, remember when you're writing powers, make sure that the number is on top, the top right hand corner, and it is small, as I'm doing. It can't be the same size. Okay, now what is 2 to the power 4? 2 to the power 4, we're multiplying 2 by itself 4 times. So it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 to the power 4. Okay, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 16. My answer is 16 there. Multiplied by 3 to the power 4. Again, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Answer is 81. Okay, now let's check if the answer I got for the left hand side will be the same as the answer that I'll be getting for the right hand side. What is 16 times 81? Use your calculator, please. 16 times 81. Answer is the same. So it's 1,296. So that is your answer, right? Okay, and I think I've spent too much time on this. And lastly, any number raised to the power 0 is 1, right? So 2 raised to the power 0 is 1. 10 raised to the power 0 is 1. Okay. And 22 raised to the power 0 is 1. 1,000 raised to the power 0 is 1. So anything raised to the power 0 is 1. You can also work this out using your calculator. Okay, we'll look at this one tomorrow, learners, so don't stress about division. Tomorrow's lesson is about division. Okay, now let's revise the rules, right? Or value by right? If you have a positive multiplied by negative, the answer will be negative. For example, 2 negative 2, right? Because I'm multiplying positive, even though there's no sign, and a negative, my answer will be negative. So the answer will be negative. That's why here I said negative times positive, answer is negative. Here, what time is added. And lastly, negative times negative, positive. So when we punch negative 2 times negative 2, notice is positive 4. Okay. Okay, this law, this recursive law. So I want to start again. As it's easy, we see repeating, right? B, A, right? B plus AC. Yes. Yeah. The addition comes from. Okay, now let's carry on. Here, talking about nominals, and trinomials. Okay, this is algebraic expression consisting of one step. Binomial algebraic expression, sum of the steps. So here, be etc.
Sorry, teacher.
Hi.
Teacher, your sound is breaking up. Please make sure you're in front of the microphone at all times.
Okay, let me do that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so binomial, you can see in this case, we are subtracting two different terms, or we are adding two different terms. So that will be a binomial. Trinomial, we are subtracting, we are adding three different. So in this case, K B plus A minus C. So this is a trinomial because there are addition and subtraction. Right. Here is a very quick activity. This one is very, very easy. We'll rush through this activity together. Okay, I might not do all of them because they're easy, but let's see. The first one is -4 multiplied by -4. Learners, what should be your answer? Right? Your answer should be positive. Negative times negative is positive. So what? 4 times 4 is 16. Right? And I need you learners to just go ahead and do all of these. Right? I'll give you answers for each. Right? I want to move quickly through this activity. So answer is positive 16. Now, learners, what is 6 multiplied by a negative 2? First of all, you need to notice that you are multiplying a positive number, right? According to rules, what sign according to our rules, our answer will have a negative, right? Multiplying a positive and a negative, our answer must be negative, right? So in this case, okay, there it is, it's positive, multiplied by a negative, so our answer will be negative. Then you say 6 times 2 is obviously 12. Okay, now let's look at number C. Number C is quite interesting because there's three negatives, right? So the first one is negative b times negative b times negative b, right? Okay. Now you break this up. What is negative times a negative, right? Answer will be positive. Very good. So negative times negative is positive. But now positive times a negative. Positive times the negative will now be a negative. So your answer will be negative, right? Because positive times, sorry, negative times negative is positive. Positive times negative, answer is negative. Okay. So b times b times b, right? B times B times B. Answer will be, remember the base is the same. Here we have the powers 1, 1, 1, right? Even though they're not written, but they are there. So this is like saying B, remember the base is the same, so I can use the laws. B is 1, there is a 1, first 1, plus 1, okay, there's a second 1, plus 1, there's a third 1, right? So this will be equal to negative B to the power 3, right? Obviously, because there are 3 B's, right? So that is your answer. Okay, now this one, the x times negative y. Now here, notice x is written different from a times. Make sure that your x is written like this, right? And your times is written like that. Don't confuse the two. Okay, so what is your answer here? Okay, now here we can apply the laws because the base is the same, right? For x and x, right? So let's do separately. Now, when you're multiplying different variables, multiply the same variables together. Okay, in this case, you have x times x, right? X times x, according to the rule. Obviously, the answer will be positive here. Right? Let me break it down for you. Right? Answer will be positive. Right? Even though I don't write the positive, but there's a positive. So x times x, this is like saying x to the power 1 plus 1. Okay, where does this one come from? It's coming from here. Each x, if it's not written, then there's an invisible one there, right? So x times x will be x squared, or x to the power 2. X to the power 2, right? So x to the power 2 times negative y. X to the power 2 times negative y. Okay. Here you cannot use the laws because the bases are not the same. You have an x and you have a y, right? But you're still multiplying a positive and a negative. So positive times negative, answer will be negative. Very, very good. Excellent, right? Negative x squared y. X squared y. Okay, very good. Okay, next one, E. Okay, please use the laws to do E for me. Use the laws to do E for me, right? Okay, obviously, if you're using the laws to do E, we'll be looking at which law? We're looking at this law, right? This first law, right? Why the base is the same? The bases are the same, so you can use the laws, right? Okay, if the bases are the same, there are 5. This case is 5. What do you do to your powers? What do you do to your exponents, right? Okay, very good. You add your exponents, so it will be 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3. Okay. So this is the same as saying 5. Okay, what is 5 plus 3? 8. So answer is 8. Okay, and then you obviously simplify using a calculator. But if your answer is left in exponential form, so it will be this one, right? Or otherwise, use a calculator to say 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 up to 8 times, right? Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, negative 3x squared times x squared, right? Negative 3x squared times x squared. Okay, here we have now numbers and variables, numbers and letters, right? So you always multiply numbers by themselves and letters by themselves. Okay, in this case, there's an invisible one. Okay, we discussed this last time. There's an invisible one that is not written there. Okay, so now let us first multiply numbers. So we have a negative 3 multiplied by 1. Negative 3 multiplied by 1. So positive times negative, answer is negative. 3 times 1, answer is 3. So we're done with numbers. Okay, now let's look at your variables. X squared times x squared, right? X squared times x squared. Since the base is the same, x and x, we can use the laws. So for the laws, it will be x to the power 2, right? What we do to the exponents if we are multiplying the bases, we add. Very, very good. So it will be 2 plus 2. Okay, what does the 2 plus 2 come from? There's the first 2, there's the second 2. Okay, so our answer simplified, it will be negative 3. Okay, x 2 plus 2, x to the power 2 plus 2 to the x to the power 4, x to the power 4. Okay, in about 5 minutes time, I'll have to stop and look at your questions. Okay, next one. Okay, this one we're multiplying. Okay, this one is the last activity for the day. We're multiplying. Here, this is a nomial, and this is a trinomial, right? So we're multiplying negative 40 into the bracket, into each term inside the bracket. Okay, how do you do that, right? Learners, please give me your answers, right? Okay, just write your answers on your chat to see if you are understanding what is happening here, right? Okay, I'm giving you 20 seconds, right? I'm giving you, we are now left with 15 seconds to do number 1, 10 seconds, 5 seconds. Okay, so you should be done. If you are quick, you should be done. So let's do it together again. Okay, negative 4d times negative 2d. Okay, remember step number 1, multiply the values by themselves, right? So negative and a negative is positive. So 4 times 2 is 8. So it will be 8, right? And then d times d, right? D times d. This is like saying d, according to the rule, d to the power 1 plus 1, right? So it's d squared. D squared. Okay, I think so far so easy. So far so good. Then the next one, don't write the sign as yet, because you need to determine the sign. Okay, what is negative times positive? Negative times positive is negative, right? Okay, what is 4 times 5? 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is 5 times 4. 5, 10, 15, 20. So it's 20. Okay, here notice you have a D, you have a C. Right? Since these are different, we basically multiply them as this. Okay, you can't combine them because the bases are not the same. Here in the middle, there's a multiplication sign. So just leave it like this. And then the last one, positive 1 times negative 4d, right? So positive times negative, it will be negative, right? Answer will be 4d. So the first one was actually quite easy, right? Okay, 2 minutes to do. I have 2 minutes kind of left to do this second one. Second one seems easy, but let's do it anyway. Okay, let's do it anyway. So it's 2 times 5. Remember, we multiply into the bracket. 2 times 5 is 10. Please write your answers on your chat, learners. If you are ahead, please be ahead because I'm slow. And d times d, same thing happened here. D times d is d squared. According to the rule, we are adding the exponents, the bases are the same. Right, so that is your answer. Okay, then positive times the negative, so it will be negative. Okay, what is 2 times 4? 2 times 4 2, 4, 6, 8, 8. 8, and then you times C and D, right? So it will be CD. It will be C times D, right? Remember, when we write, this is like saying 8 times C times D. We just write it as C 8 CD or negative 8 CD. Okay, last one for the day. Before I look at your questions, okay, hopefully some of the questions have already been answered as we are moving through this activity. Okay, now we have two nomials. Okay, first of all, negative times negative is positive, right? So 7 times 2 is 7, 14, so it's positive 14. Okay, now here, basically they've swapped around, right? Remember we looked at this last time, they swapped around, right? So it's the same thing, C and C is the same C. Okay, so C times C can be written as C times C can be written as C to the power 1 plus 1, so it will be equal to C to the power 2, right? So answer is C to the power 2. And now let's look at D, right? For D, we're multiplying D to the power 2, okay, times D to the power 4 times D to the power 4, right? Where does this come from? There's D to the power 4, there's D to the power 2, right? So your answer will be D times, in this case, obviously the bases are the same. So what do we do to the exponents? According to the rule, we add. So it will be 4 plus 2. Okay. So what is 4 plus 2? Excellent. 4 plus 2 is 6. Okay. 6. Okay. So answer will be D to the power 6. Okay. Okay, we're done for today. I'll look at your chat shortly, but this will be your homework, right? So this will be your homework. I think you can go to the site, our website, africa10gigs.co.za, and then you'll be able to get this activity, right? Otherwise, screenshot everything. Practice makes perfect. Right? Let me look at your chat. Right? Let me try to look at your chat. Let me go out to see if I can check your chat. Okay, Q&A, right? Okay, learners, I'm looking for your questions here. Okay, Q&A. Okay, no questions, right? I think you guys are smart, or you have problems. Okay.
Teacher, unmute yourself, please.
No, sorry. Okay, I was looking for questions. Are there any questions?
Yes, 8 questions. Look under published on the live Q&A.
Look under published. Okay, I can see live event Q&A, but I don't see any questions.
There's new, published, and dismissed. Look at published, the middle column.
Okay, I think I'm a bit stuck here because I don't see any questions. Here in front of me I have live event Q&A only. So I think somewhere where I cannot see it. Somewhere where I cannot see it, so I'm not quite sure where to go. Okay. Host, please, producer, can you maybe tell me what the question is?
Sure.
Can you maybe tell me what the question is? Because I cannot see it from my side.
Yes, just give me a moment.
Okay.
So please note that we've got 5 minutes left to the end of the session.
First question from Clueless. Hi, sir. I am struggling with algebraic fractions.
Oh, fractions.
Yes.
Okay.
Next question.
Yes.
Well, where can we watch the video? Remember, the video will only be published the day after your lesson. So if you go to Africa Teen Geeks YouTube channel, you'll only see this video tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, I think Lena's got you there. I think Lena's.
There is one question
yes.
that says, sorry sir, you are going too fast. Please slow down a bit.
Okay, sorry.
The other
Sorry
questions
about
and
that.
answers was on your command, asking them to give answers to your questions.
Okay. Okay. No, thank you. Thank you very, very much. I think we'll try to improve in terms of responding to their questions from tomorrow. But the learner who asked about one learner asked about fractions, right? So I'll actually look at her answer from tomorrow because I don't have much time. But I'll give you just one example. I think she said she struggles with fractions, right? I think I do have maybe 2 minutes to show you how it is done. Let me do that. Okay, let's say. In fact, fractions will deal with them tomorrow. But let's say it's 1 over 2, and maybe a multiplied by 2 over. 2 over 3 b or ab. Okay, so in this case the answer will be, okay, obviously when it comes to fractions, for fractions you multiply the numerators together and you multiply the denominators together. So in this case 1 times 2, 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 3, 2, 4, 6, 2 times 3 is 6, and then you have a times a. A times a, in this case it will be a squared, or a to the power 2. If you recall, according to the rule, the bases must be added, right? Just quick revision, and I just don't have much time. So here the exponents are 1. So in this case, what you do, because the base is the same, you add the exponents. So it's 1 plus 1. So answer will be squared, right? So that is, and then b. Okay. So basically, fractions are solved in this format, right? Fractions are solved in this format. But in tomorrow's lesson, we'll look at more questions that involves fractions, right? Sometimes you'll have basically a question like that, and then you divide by 2b, right? So I'll show you how to calculate these ones from tomorrow onwards, right? Okay, so take home message, please memorize the first law. Please memorize this law, right? It will make your life very, very easy. And then for more links, you can get Sasol Inzalo books, also called Rungoba books. They are on this website. They basically have many questions, and then always work on your workbook. Tomorrow's lesson, we're looking at dividing, right? Dividing monomials, binomials, and trinomials. Today we're looking at multiplying them. Tomorrow we're dividing them, right? Obviously, for more information, right, you can email us there or go to our website, www.africateengeeks.co.za. Remember, this lesson will be available tomorrow on YouTube. Thank you very, very much. Please join me again tomorrow. Invite your friends. Okay, bye.